please let me know that.
Walaikum Assalam. Yes.
Is the voice crystal clear, by the way?
Yes.
So let's begin. Let me just start the recording first, and then we can commence with the session. Now, if anywhere in the session you find the sound faltering, please let me know, because I'm not using my headphones. There's some problem in my tablet. I just discovered it today. So I'm not using the headphones. I'm just doing it directly. I'm just, delivering the session directly. So if anywhere in the session the voice falters, it's not audible to you, kindly let me know. It's a request to everybody, right? Okay, so let's go with the quiz first. How many students are there in the room? So that nobody misses. Let me just check out the strength. Okay, so there are just 11 students right now in the room. So we'll just wait for 2 more minutes so that if anybody is interested, still enjoying the session, they can join the session. And then we'll start with the quiz. I'll paste the link in the chat box. We'll start exactly at 1:25 so that we can give the margin to other people to join. In the meanwhile, let me just copy paste the link. By the way, how many students can you see in at your side, by the way? It's quite confusing at my side right now. The picture I have in front of me it's showing me 15 students, and then it's also showing me 11 presenters. So what's the number, by the way?
Ma'am, there are almost 26 students in class.
How many, what's number? What's the number?
25 students.
Great, so I think we can begin. Okay, so let me just copy paste the link in the chat box. All of you are requested to direct yourself to the chat box so that you don't miss any time. So here goes the email quiz link. You'll be given exactly 10 minutes. It's 1:20 by my side. I will stop accepting the responses at 1:30. 2 more minutes to go. Start submitting your quiz, please. The time is up. Yes, everybody, please start submitting your quiz. The time is up. Some few seconds left, and after that, I would stop accepting the responses. Okay, that's it. I'm deactivating this feature. Okay, so let's see how did you people fare. Not bad. Most of you scored 9, so that's a good score. So let's see how many of you have scored 9 and 10. So we have got roll number 59, roll number 2 10, roll number 52 9, 49, 54 4, and 62. They've scored 10 on 10. Wow, that's great. Then we have 20. Now we have a lot of students scoring 10. Now this is suspicious. Did you get hold of the quiz earlier? Okay, it's 10 for 20. It's 26 roll number with 10 marks again. Then we have roll number 36 with 9 marks, 12, 9. Varia HP 9, 22, 10, and 64, 10. And Sabha J 9, roll number 10, 9. So that's really impressive score considering the fact that I was not expecting. I mean, I think the quiz was pretty easy. Was that so?
Yes, ma'am.
It's super easy. And do we have only Abdul Asif in the classroom? We don't have other people. They are conveniently sitting there and having the food. I want responses from everybody. Okay, let's check out the answers. The ideal response time should be within 24 hours, and it can be 24 hours to 48 hours, but it should not exceed more than that. Which one of the following is a professional salutation? Greetings, of course. Which phrase is the most appropriate? Thank you so much. You just received a life-changing email. Should you forward it, a chain email? Should you forward it to everyone else? No. New update is a perfect example of a subject line. No, it's not, because it's not complete. New update about what? So it's false. How do you properly format an email? Of course, option 4, subject, written, body, closing, signature. What should you not use when sending an email? It's just emojis. By the way, someone clicked on complete sentences. Excuse me, who is that? And then we have important information should be presented in the first half of the subject line. How many types of lists are there? Just 3. And what else? For emailing set of instructions, we should be using numbered lists. Now this, I think this was the question that was pretty confusing for most of the students, because 4 of them just check marked embedded list and just 1 check marked bulleted list. All the others scored good. So Badri, it was a very impressive scoring, I must say. Thank you so very much for studying so hard. Okay, and I hope you're going to deliver the same response in the class also, because in the class, you people are different. and you behave differently when you're taking online classes. So I hope you are not having any help from others through WhatsApp or something like that. Okay, let me just switch my screen and let's see what our agenda for today is. Just give me a second, I need to switch my screen. Okay, so objectives of today's session would be, we would be doing three things. Of course, we are done with the formatting and the content and the style of email writing through the pre-recorded lecture. We'll be going through a little bit of do's and don'ts of email writing. We'll be learning about how to design an automated professional signature block. Making a signature block, just typing in a plain manner, that's easy, but how to make it professional, how to incorporate your social media handles, that is Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, how to incorporate those social media handles into your signature block, and especially in an automated manner. We're going to learn that. We'll also learn how to customize our Gmail and Outlook programs so we can have a better experience from these email programs. So the fun part is customizing them according to your own preferences. So we'll also be learning that. Okay, so before jumping on to that, let's just give a little quick recap of whatever we learned. We learned that our email writing should have a professional tone. I want all of you to read this out. It says, it's an example email, and it says over here, "Sir, it was great to speak with you on the phone earlier." Now, in this first sentence, could somebody please identify what's the problem in the tone? It was great to speak with you on the phone. Yes, everybody? Somebody please turn on the mic and let me know. What is the problem with the first sentence? We're talking about keeping our tone professional. Now, if you read out the first statement over here, what is the problem over here? Yes. Somebody?
Was great to speak.
Do we have just Abdul Hasib taking the class? I'm going to give all of you a straight away 0 if you're not going to contribute. Okay? Now I want somebody else also contributing. Or otherwise just put it down in the chat box at least. Please. Now this phrase, "it was great to speak to you." Now this phrase is, let me just turn on my laser pointer here. "It was great to speak to you." Now we have an objection with this statement. We are not saying that this statement is wrong. What we are saying is it is not written in a professional manner. A professional alternate would have been, "It was a pleasure speaking to you." Right? Now this usage of this word "great" makes it an immature or non-professional statement. Okay? "You should have received a calendar invite from me. We agreed upon for Tuesday at 2 p.m. What's the problem in this statement? This is not written professionally again. "You should have received a calendar." Now, this dictation, "you should have received," it is sounding like as if you are dictating this person out, right? Instead of making him feel comfortable that you have invited him, you are trying to show a superior side of yours. "You should have received a calendar invite by now." You'll also find an agenda attached below. Now, whenever an email, we mention that there is something attached in this email, we say, "Please find the attached document below," or "Please find the attachment below." This is the right manner. Kindly let me know if you have any questions. Regard, that's pretty okay. So again, when you're using professional writing, when you are making sure that you're writing in a technical manner, make sure you're using sophisticated words, advanced vocabulary, and also you are using polite phrases rather than being dictatorial. Okay? And these are some of the vague subject lines that you should not put in the email, such as hello, just writing hello, or just writing meeting, or just writing deadline, urgent reminders. Now they are blank subject lines, they are hollow subject lines, they are not offering any details to the reader. So you should not write these kind of subject lines. Also make sure when you're using punctuation marks, you're being very particular when you are doing it formally. Now here, read the statement out. "Thanks for the productive conversation!" Exclamation mark. "Good news, we're good to go!" Exclamation mark. "Can't wait to work together!" Exclamation mark. What's the problem in this sentence of punctuation? Yes, everybody? What is the problem over here? Put it down in the chat box. What's the problem here? Yes? I'm waiting for your answers. What's the problem over here? Or somebody just turn on the mic and let me know. What's the problem over here? Apart from Abdul Hasib, please. Is there someone else who can just reply to me? Yes, there's unnecessary punctuation mark. By the way, when you talk about unnecessary punctuation mark, here you have to be very, very particular that usage of exclamation mark has been overdone here. Are you noticing? A lot of exclamation marks have been used. So sometimes what we do is we get carried away and we want to use as much punctuation marks as we can use because it has become a second habit of ours, isn't it? So we should try to avoid using especially exclamation marks unnecessarily, right? Also notice over here when we write informally, after the name we use colon, and when we are writing informally we can leave the space as it is, right? But when we are writing formally to somebody we need to have a colon at the end. Let's move ahead. We should be very, very cautious about using emojis, emoticons especially. Again, when we are very excited, it seems like our email is going to be incomplete if we are not going to add a happy emoticon or if we are feeling depressed or low. And a sad emoticon is very important. Again, so you should avoid using emoticons wherever the case is. Put your feelings in words because again, if you use emoticons, it makes you look immature, non-professional, and incompetent. Choose your salutation carefully. We talked about it in the pre-recorded lectures, but let's, just for the revision purpose. Let's say it again. It's yo, hey, to whom it may concern. You must have seen so many letters being typed to whom it may concern. Now, instead of using to whom it may concern, this really puts off the reader. Mind you that, okay? So instead of saying to whom it may concern, it's a better idea that you do some research work and find out the name of the person. Because again, names make us special, make our identity special. And it's always good to hear your name off and on, right? So again, don't say to whom it may concern. Try to find the name of the person and put it down there, okay? And then gentlemen, saying addressing gentlemen, it's too old-fashioned. Better way is to use these, sir or madam. Don't write over here miss. Don't use ms dot over here. A better salutation would be sir or madam. And then Mr., Miss. Do not differentiate them with Mrs. and Miss, right? If the person is a doctor, then doctor. If he's a professor, it's always good to add professor with his name. And do not use caps lock. If you want to highlight something, put it in inverted commas or just make it bold, just make it italicized, but do not write every letter in capital letters, right? And of course, do not use negative energy in your email. And we have talked a lot about it earlier also. Words such as mistakes, failure, delay. Instead of saying failure, say you learned from your mistake, right? Instead of saying mistakes, say you would improve, right? So it's better to avoid negative words and phrases in your email. And also do not be sarcastic. For example, just read this out. I would ask my team to review it tomorrow, but as you know, no one gets the work done here on Friday. What is the problem with this statement? Who is being targeted over here negatively? Yes. Anyone? Whom are we targeting negatively? It says over here, I would ask my team to review it, but as you know, no one works here on Friday.
Everyone.
Yes, we are trying to disrespect our team members. So make sure you are not showing any sign of disrespect with reference to your team members because again, it reduces the morale of your team. And of course, if the morale of your team is reduced or it is lessened down to zero, then of course they will not be respectful towards you. So always be motivating towards them, right? So we can see over here that the person is trying to be very, very sarcastic and humiliating towards the team members, and you should not be writing like that. Then we talked about it umpteen times earlier. Cut out unnecessary adjectives. Do not sound over emotional. Okay? So These adjectives are very rarely, extremely highly will not be used. Do not be carried away, do not get carried away and start using red in your content as a font color. Just use black. Again, if you want to emphasize something, underline it, italicize it, or make it bold, but do not change the color. Stick to the standard font size. And of course, if you are in love with using bold or italicize, again, do not bold or italicize more than one word. Then, if you're sending out an attachment, don't forget to alert the reader about it. I have attached a document. Kindly find the attachment below. Make sure you alert the reader about it. And it's very important that you perfect your email signature, and a perfect email signature has all the important details as well as your social media handles. And we're also going to learn about it today. Fill out the fields properly, just for the revision. In the to section, we always write the senior most member's email first. We CC others when we just want to inform them. We are not expecting any reply from them. And BCC is a kind of a secret communication which should be avoided at every cost. Then we all love to reply all, hit reply all button and we reply all, and when we are sending responses, we reply all by using this tab. So this should be used sparingly. If you think everyone should be receiving the answer, reply all. Otherwise, just hit reply and reply to the person. And of course, think before forwarding. What we do is we forward, for example, if there is a chain email going on related to your coursework, related to a particular subject, what you would do is you would keep on forwarding it with forward, forward, forward. So if you cannot do anything about it, at least what you should be doing is change the subject line of that thread. For example, it was a forwarded email, forward notes from Tuesday. At least change the subject line. Check this out, or new notes, or something like that, so that the reader would find the fresh information. Instead of just having a look at forward, 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 and then having the subject line. Okay? Make sure you are writing crisp, very short subject lines with all the details, and I've collected some of the subject lines that might be helpful for you. For example, if you're applying for a job application as an internee, just write your name, then hyphen, chemical engineer internee candidate, just that. If you have forwarded your resume, or if you want to tell somebody that you have a reference, just say Ali Ahmed, referred by Said Babar, or computer engineer internee. If you have given an interview somebody, just state Ali Ahmed following up on chemical engineer position, or chemical engineer interview follow-up. If you want to thank you for the interview that was conducted, say thank you for the interview conducted on May 22nd, 2022, to make it more complete. If you're sending your introduction to somebody, state an introduction, colon, the name of the person. If you are sending a meeting invitation to somebody, just say Apex Consultant Meeting, colon, and the day and the date. Now also notice I did not write anything in between. Instead, I used punctuation marks to convey my point of view. I used colon over here, and then I can use a hyphen over here, and that's it. Okay. Then if you're asking for feedback request by Apex and Company, and here is the date. 3 means the month over here, and 24 means the date. So this is how you can present your subject line in less than 30 letters, right? Now, I have also collected some of the inappropriate phrases that we use in email writing, and it's not limited to email writing. We also use it in everyday communication. For example, instead of writing in the email, what's the problem? You can say, can I help you? Right? Instead of saying, please help me, we have talked about it so many times that please do not use the word please. Say, would you mind helping me with this? I want to cancel my appointment. Now, this is pretty rude. You took the appointment first and now you want to cancel it outrightly, not considering that it might waste the time of the other person. So instead of saying, I want to cancel my appointment, be polite. Say, could I please cancel my appointment, or could my appointment be cancelled? I want to know how. This is again, it seems rude, very direct. Could you please tell me how? I need to reschedule. Is it possible to reschedule? Now on this side, I have actually put out the better versions. I have some problems here. I'm facing some issues. I want to know why. I was wondering. I want to make an appointment with you. Now again, if you want to, here we were talking about canceling the appointment. Here we are talking about making an appointment. So if you want to make an appointment with somebody, this is rude. You can't just tell somebody directly, I want to make an appointment with you. You tell him, do you have time to meet with me sometime this week? Now, this is a better way, right? Could you explain it more to me? This is again very rude and very direct. I did not understood feature X. Could you just tell me more about it? This is a better way to tell the other person in a more specific manner what was not understandable to you. Instead of telling him that I did not understand what you said. Okay? Now I've collected some of the sample emails. We'll be doing them one by one and we'll see how we can improve them. Okay, now this email, of course, is written in a faulty manner. It says over here, Dear Professor, I'm working on a project on minimizing the viruses in the software. I would like you to look at it and give me some feedback. Could you please get it back to me by next Tuesday? Thank you for your time. Yes, what's the problem with this email? Put it down in the chat box. Just write one problem. This is not written in an appropriate manner. I know. I'll just show you the right manner, how to do that. But I want you to just give me your feedback. Where does the problem lie? Just put it down in the chat box. And if somebody can turn on the mic and let me know that, that would be wow. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Yes, okay. What else? And by the way, don't forget that your contribution is being graded. So those of you who are conveniently sleeping after your feast, you would be reprimanded. You'll be getting a bad score, by the way. Yes, what else? What else is wrong over here? So I'll only grade those people who would respond to me in the chat box. So up till now, I've only received 26, 32, Rahimullah's and roll number 18's answer.
Ma'am, instead of mentioning Tuesday, यहाँ पे आना चाहिए. Do you have a time to meet me with me sometime this week?
Very good. Who's there, by the way?
26.
6. Okay. Okay. What else? Achha, now notice here. We all know, of course, this is wrong. It's not going to be Dear Professor. It's just going to be Professor Ali Ahmad and colon, right? So let's move on to the next sentence. Here, can you see the usage of contraction? In technical writing, we avoid contractions. So it's going to be I am. It's not going to be I am. It's going to be I am working on a project, blah, blah, blah. Up to here, it's absolutely correct. And I think the beginning was absolutely right because he started off on a direct tone. So that's a good thing because in professional email writing, you do not ask about the well-being of the person and you be direct. Okay? Now let's move on to the second statement. I would like you to look at it and give me some feedback. What's the problem with this statement? I would like you. Now, this student is telling the professor what he would like to do. Now, this is something absurd. You can't tell a senior, I would like you to look at it. So, this is incorrect phrase. And give me some feedback. Now, notice this. You cannot tell a senior that give me some feedback. You tell him, I request feedback. Okay? You cannot tell a senior directly, I want you to give me that. Sorry. And then, as this girl mentioned, could you please get it back to me? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, absolutely right. Will it be possible for you to get this assignment back to me by next Tuesday? Will it be possible for you? Now let's check out the better version of this. It would have been a good idea had you written Professor Ahmedali, and just hold on, let me just make some more changes to it, because here it should have been greetings. So it's going to be greetings, Professor Ahmedali, and it's going to be like this. So this is the appropriate way. Greetings is a kind of a salutation, right? So you'll be saying greetings, Professor Ahmedali, and because it's a formal email, so we would be incorporating this colon at the end of the name. I'm working on a project. Okay, I'm so sorry about this using this contraction. I'll just remove that. So, I'm working on a project on minimizing the viruses in the software, which is due next Tuesday. Please excuse this spelling mistake, which is due next Tuesday. Now, notice this. The writer has very, very quickly identified his concern and also the due date, the deadline. So, how does it help the reader? It helps the reader to be mentally prepared when is the work to be completed. Right? So it's a very good idea that you mention it in the beginning, the deadline that you are offered with. If you have time, would you mind taking a look at it? Now, this is the right phrase. Would you mind taking a look at it and provide me some feedback? I'm especially concerned about XYZ. Now, this is super because you're writing technically, you're writing technical writing, it's a technical piece of writing. Make sure you're trying to specify what is your problem. Your problem is that you did not understand XYZ. So when he's going to go through the document, the teacher is going to be very, very specific about XYZ problem, and he'll make sure that he is talking in really simple terms when he's trying to give you the answer related to XYZ. In this way, he will not wasting his time and yours either. Thank you for your time. Best regards. Let's check out this one. Dear Professor, I did not understand the lecture yesterday about AI. I want to make an appointment with you tomorrow at 12 so you can explain it more to me. What is the problem with this email? Yes, what's the problem here? I'm repeating again. If your roll number is not there in the chat box, there is no point in taking today's class because you will be very gracefully granted 0 in today's lecture. Okay, so please don't bother sitting here idly if you're not responding, either by turning on your microphone or either by putting the answer in the chat box. I'm very, very clear about it and I'll show you the result in the next class. So what's the problem over here? Yes, I also want somebody to please turn on the mic and let me know. Could somebody please turn on the mic so we can have more energy in the class, please? Yes?
Ma'am,
Is it roll number 26?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I want somebody else to contribute, please. Thank you so much, Vijay. Roll number 26.
Okay, ma'am.
Your contribution has been marked. I want more people to pool in, please.
Ma'am, it's roll number 15.
Ji, Vijay, 15.
Ma'am, it sounds like it's writer-centered. It should be reader-centered.
Okay, great. I like the use of the word, of the term that is writer-centered and reader-centered. That's good, Vijay. But how can we make it more writer-centered or more, how can we make this thing more reader-centered? What about the tone of the email, Vijay? What about the tone of the email? Is there any problem in the tone of the email?
Yes, ma'am. We
Correct.
shouldn't use I. There should be more use of you.
No, that's okay, Beta. Here, I is okay because, of course, he wants to tell the reader that I am the sufferer, I am the victim, I did not understand the thing. So, I am the person who is suffering. So that's completely okay if you're using I, because, of course, Here the situation is different. Okay? So he can use I, but what about other things? What about the statement? Do you find the statement problematic? If we say,
Yes, ma'am. Dear, the dear word and
dear is incorrect. Okay, we are done with that. Now, thank you so much. Beta, what's your name?
Hafsa Mubashir.
Okay, Hafsa. Thank you, Beta Hafsa. Acha, everybody, please notice. Thank you, Hafsa. You raised a very good point that it should have been writer-centered. Sorry, reader-centered. Now here, you could have made this email reader-centered by telling that, Miss, your lecture was super. It was awesome. It was appreciated by everybody. But there is a problem in section number 2 or in section number 3, and I was not able to understand it. Telling your seniors or telling your higher authorities directly, I do not understand, is rude, isn't it? So the tone of this document is rude. It seems as if the professor is incompetent. It seems as if the professor is not qualified enough to make sure that he helps the students understand what he's trying to say. So again, here the fault, it seems that the fault lies with the teacher, and we don't want to make teacher, and we don't want to blame the teacher, isn't it? So a more professional manner would be, Miss, you have always been very accommodating, or Sir, you have always been very accommodating and you have been very helpful. But surprisingly, I did not understand section number 2 and 3 of yesterday's lecture. Now, that's a better idea. We have discussed already, we never say, I want to make an appointment. This is incorrect. How would you write? We never say, I want to make an appointment with you. What else can you write? How can you make this better? Yes, somebody, please turn on the mic. How can we make this better? I want to make an appointment with you.
Can I
Could we
please
make an
appointment?
appointment to discuss further?
No. Would you please, would you please
Could you
spare,
please manage? Could you please manage to explain it to me?
no, could you please spare some time, could you please spare some time this Tuesday or this week so that we can talk on this more? Okay, so an appropriate phrase would be, would you please spare some time this week? Or you can put up with more clearer time, more specific timing, such as tomorrow at 12, or time that is convenient for you. So you can explain it more to me, so that more can be talked on it. Right? Here again, use it so you can explain. It seems that the teacher is not competent enough to explain well. So what you can do is, so we can talk more on it. Okay? So this is the revised version.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Mhm.
Ma'am, you told that we cannot use please word in technical writing.
Yes, you cannot. Yes. You cannot use please when you are using it separately. For example, saying please help me. This is going to be an incorrect phrase. But when you would say, could you please help me in this matter? Now that's a formal phrase. Okay? So
Okay, ma'am.
using please by the starting of your sentence would be an inappropriate phrase. But when you add could you with it, it becomes highly formal. Okay? Or let's say formal. Let's not use the word highly because it's unnecessary adjective. Right? So could you please is okay. But saying please spare some time, it's going to be informal. Okay? If you're going to start your sentence with please spare some time, it's going to be informal. Got it? So no?
Yes, ma'am.
So here we go. This is the revised version. Now here it's, you can see over here, the child, the student is being more focused. He's being more, you might say, well-mannered by saying, I'm still a bit confused by some aspects of the lecture. Would it be possible to schedule an appointment with you this week to discuss it further? Notice this. to discuss it further. I do not want a schedule, I do not want an appointment with you so that you can explain more to me. No, I want to schedule an appointment so we can discuss it further. Discuss is a mature term. Then explain or then talking. I'm free either Tuesday, Thursday or Friday morning. Thank you. So here you've also told about your free schedule, and if he's comfortable, he can pick any one of them or he can just tell his free schedule. Okay. This is another one. Please read this. I'm writing to let you know that I'll be late for class because there's urgent maintenance issue at my apartment now. I apologize for the short notice. I'll be at the university by 2 p.m. What's the problem here? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's the problem over here? Put it down in the chat box. What's the issue here? Yes, somebody please.
मैम प्रोफेसर के पास बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट होते हैं तो मेरे ख्याल में ये अप्रोप्रिएट होगा कि हम अपना नाम पहले लिखें।
ठीक है, लेकिन वो चीज़ तो बेटे सिग्नेचर ब्लॉक में आएगी ना। इट्स गोइंग टू कम एट सिग्नेचर ब्लॉक, ठीक है। तो सिग्नेचर ब्लॉक को तो बेटे अभी आप छोड़ दें। अभी आप इस ईमेल की अभी आप टोन चेक करके मुझे बताओ, इस टोन में क्या प्रॉब्लम। अभी हम लर्न कर रहे हैं हाउ कैन वी मेक आवर टोन बेटर, ठीक है। Okay, roll number 58 is saying it's a long explanation of issue. Yes, absolutely right. I agree with that. That's a good reason that you have pointed out for inappropriate writing. What else? Okay, I'm writing to let you know. Of course, we are trying to make things long. Yes, absolutely right. We can start directly. I'll be late for class because there is an urgent maintenance issue at my apartment now. Okay, what about the reason? Urgent maintenance issue. Do you think this is a viable reason for getting an excuse or for getting a chance to skip the class? Whenever we are writing reasons for absence, please make sure that they are serious reasons, right? Now this maintenance issue seems to be a very minor issue. You can always tell the workers to work and you can come and take your class, right? So this is not a very impressive reason to put in the email. A better reason would be, for example, if you're suffering from illness, God forbid, you have to attend a funeral, somebody has passed away, right? Or you have your siblings wedding. So these can be really